Good morning. Hold on, let me get a sip of coffee. Right, so I think this is the point that we were going to start working on kind of more of the front end for the app and how to actually interact with these services. Because it's been very back end heavy for like a little while now. I know I do pull up the UI every once in a while just to give context. But I think, yeah, let's look at this backwards. So what we're driving towards is having in this UI for the stream info. This is the edit view. You can tell because the fields are editable. That's this library / framework that I'm using for the UI here, React Admin. It basically, the way it works is you define all the different kinds of record types you want to deal with. So in this case, I have video clips and streams and episodes and topics and transcriptions. And then, and that is like purely in the UI, right? The back end of the database could look different, but and then for each of those record types, you define potentially a list view, a show view, an edit view, and a create view. And you can use kind of the default views and stuff for some of that, which we saw very early on, where we don't have to specify like all the details of the record type or how the list or edit or show view work. But the idea is that the list view is essentially what powers being able to look at a list of that kind of record, whereas clicking into it might either take you to a show view, which would be like a read-only version like this, which is a little broken right now, or the or an edit view. And then of course you can also have like a create button here, and this takes you to a create view. And so all these can be set up to like, oh, on the create view you only have to specify these fields, show extra fields here, show extra UI elements. It's very configurable depending on how far you want to go with it. Okay, so that's the kind of the context of the UI. And what we had done before is I had shown, let me actually pull up the, let's see, Control P, edit, the streams one. Nope, it's not there anymore. I probably, oh right, because I renamed it. I wonder if there's a good way to like purge the kind of history of files from VS Studio so that it doesn't keep on suggesting files that don't exist anymore. Right, because now the React Admin Vite app is instead of front end. It's not test admin anymore. So streams, edit. So this is all the code that we need to write to define this UI because of React Admin. And so when we're seeing the video clips here, we have a custom component, which then just builds on top of more React Admin components to work. And so essentially this is wrapping array input and form iterator, and then just the text inputs, although we could have different input types for these, like custom ones for like the start and stop time and those sorts of things. I guess we are using date type input for last modified here. Where was I going with this? Okay, so I think, oh right, and then we have a button here, scan through clips. Yeah, that's part of the stream clip stream video clips input component is this button, which under the hood uses our data provider to call an API, which gathers all this data and dumps it into the UI via, I guess, this form context.setValue. It's been a month since I've touched it. November 30th, forever ago. But yeah, I guess that's how that works. So I was thinking of doing something similar for the transcripts, maybe. Let's see, what did I say last time? I said add tabs to the stream meta view, that's this, for the video clips and transcript segments with task status and buttons to start task and button to get results. So in other words, what we can do is we can take this view, and maybe a lot of the time when we're clicking into the stream to like edit it, we might not want to see the video clips, and maybe we just have tabs. Maybe do that. I mean, it's not necessary. We could just, you know, have our transcript stuff down here. But it's kind of a lot of scrolling, and should be, I think, relatively easy to add tabs to the view. We'll see. All right. A lot of the times it's not a question of, oh, can we do this? Do we want to do this? And is this the thing I want to do next, right? So, right. So let's work backwards. That's why we're talking about the UI now, right? So in order to be able to do that, I mean, the tab stuff is purely a UI concern. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a component kind of like video clips here, where we'll have an extra button, except more, where we are going to let me think about this. Right. Okay, so I think the idea was that you would click a button that would say something like transcribe speech to text, something like that. And that would call our API that we worked on last time. I think I maybe have that request here. Transcription detect. Using the information provided in the record. So basically using the URIs from the video clips. And I don't know about initial prompts. I might just hard code something for now to pass in. Or maybe, no. I mean, we can just take the title and description, right? From the record. In fact, I bet we could potentially like manufacture kind of an interesting initial prompt for the transcription from the information we have on the stream record. So anyways, you click the button, it makes the API call. When you make the API call, you don't get the transcription back because that takes a while to do. Let's see here. What we get back though, I don't have an example. I think I don't have an example of what the response looks like because I didn't save it. But it has like a... I'll just run it. Let me just send one. There we go. 202 accepted with a header that has a location. And then I think, I mean, we could just take this and save this into the UI. But I think what I wanted to do, I think where I was going with this was to then So the front end will call that first API with the information. It'll get a location header back. It'll make a GET request to the URL provided, which will have an ID and a status. And I think we want to save... Maybe we just save the URL to the stream record. Hey! Yeah, happy Sunday, Foxy Blue. SA even. That's great. At least it's consistent everywhere. Thank you for the 100 bits. Did I see that you're going to be doing a Discord stream later? I should stretch in the morning before I plop down in this chair, but it's the struggle to get out of bed. Yeah, just hanging out, putting together your Lego figurines. All right. Okay. I might have to check that out. Thanks for coming by. You should too. Terrible at getting up early in the winter. Yeah. Well, weekdays, I don't... I think you can appreciate this, but don't really have a choice. In my case, specifically, I have early morning meetings with people that are in time zones east of me. Yeah, I'm not really... I mean, the sun can be okay, but I think it's safe to say I got too much sun earlier in life. So I'm good. I'm more of a, an indoors person. Still thinking about how this is going to work. You didn't even think there was somewhere left. Well, when I moved to the Pacific Northwest long ago, it definitely felt different in terms of it felt like it was, it rained, if you could call it rain, just kind of a mist all the time. At least that was my perception of it. And of course there were, days when it was less or more or whatnot, but it's definitely felt over the years that the weather has gotten, instead of it being milder, it's a bit less so now. Hotter summers, and more, less of that mist and more actual rain. Okay, so I think what we're gonna have a button. It's gonna be transcribe audio. It's gonna make a call. Let me go back to Postman. It's gonna make a call to this post request with all the information. It's gonna get a location header back, and it's gonna get that URL. And we could probably just save that into the record for the stream, and that's what this item was supposed to be about. So I think we're going to do that first. Let me just keep on kind of tracing through how this is going to work, though, to see if I can turn up anything that's going to become an impediment to how this is going to work. I think having the URL will be good, because we can, when we load the record for the stream, either that URL will be present, which means we believe there is an outstanding task for the transcription, or it's not there, in which case we believe there's not. We'll also have the actual transcription segments stored in the stream record. Do I have a PG admin? I mean, I know I do, but I don't have it running. Let's pop that up. And hello to those in watching the stream that are lurking. Welcome. This would be a lot less fun without an audience. Also, it'd be really weird if I was, you know, coding this by myself and just sitting here talking to myself. Which is definitely what I'd be doing. Talking through what you're doing as you're coding is pretty important. Yeah, I saw that. I figured that was a bot. That's pretty cool. Oxygen not included. I am gonna eventually stream something else. Oh, this is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. All right. You set it up last night. Okay, that makes sense. You need to talk to me. Okay. Well, I'm here. Is it about coding? And hello, Luna. Data all rows. There we go. So here we go. So here's the table. Let's get rid of that warning. I'm not going to upgrade right now. So we're going to add some columns to the table. I think that was what I was thinking we needed to do last time around. Yep, that makes sense. All right, let's try not to get distracted. All right, so which I say that, but I'm always getting distracted. Okay, so we're gonna add some columns. I think we're gonna add a column for the actual like transcription segments to go into, and we'll just use like a JSON-B column. I think that'll make sense. Is there any reason I would want to make a separate table other than, well, it's pros and cons? I think in terms of like being able to go into PG admin and look at data, having a separate table is nice. Are there pros for using just like doing the denormalized thing and just dumping the segments into the table? Well, if we, it is easier in general to update one table versus multiple tables, or yeah. Oh, hey, Ferez99. Welcome, welcome. You got a Sobble. I don't know what that is. All right. So, in terms of writing less code, a JSONB column is nice. In terms of I don't know. I could go either way. Right now, it doesn't matter too much, and if it ever does matter, I can always change my mind and move things around. Like just create a table and then migrate the data out and then rewrite the code to, do joins and inserts and updates and stuff. But right now, I mean, if you had a separate table for the transcription segments, then you're going to have like a foreign key, and then if you want to update, how is that going to work in the UI? I mean, yes, you may end up in a circumstance where, like, okay, you want to add a transcription segment, and it's going to make a separate request. It's going to do a thing. A Salazel. Okay. I should get what Marxy has. Where it shows a little picture of the Pokemon that is up for grabs on screen. Then we'd at least be able to see. For those of us that do not have a Pokédex in our heads. Okay, so JSONB column. Yeah, you were considering that too. I'll have to, we'll have to get Marxy to tell us his secrets. Of course, if Marxy goes, just stays on Kick and doesn't come back to Twitch, he probably will, but I don't know if there is a way to have the Pokemon community game over there. Okay, so you caught it. Nice. So I think a URL will store the URL of the task. I think that's going to make sense for now. I think potentially we may have like what are other like asynchronous things we might want to like queue up that are being drawn from the stream record, right? So the scan for clips thing is fine. We have the silence detection stuff that we probably also want to queue up per stream. So if we did that, are we going to have just a separate column that's going to store like, oh, here's the task that's underway? Or do we want to say there's just one place where we're storing the queued task? And we say, okay, only one thing can be queued at a time? I don't know that makes sense. Like, we should be able to queue up multiple jobs from the same stream. On the other hand, so what I'm thinking about now is like, okay, we could have a table of like tasks, which would be kind of weird. I mean, we already have tasks in Redis that we could be pulling from. The issue is the tasks, the way the tasks are set up now, there's no way to tie them back to the record here, to the stream, and to the particular thing we're trying to do. And that's what having a column in the stream table would represent. So Okay. I think for now, it's going to make sense. We'll add... So another option would be, like, we could have a JSON B column or tables or something to keep track of things, but then we would have to keep track of, like, oh, this task is the asynchronous task for processing this, for processing that, or we have a general UI or something, and that's not really what I want here. I want a UI where we're like, okay, here's the area where we're doing the speech-to-text transcription, here's a button that cues it off for this particular stream, and then there's a little widget next to it that shows what is the status of that job. Is that in process? Is that done? If it is done, then the other part here is like a button to get results. Something that would be like, imagine if scan for clips took, minutes. So we would click scan for clips. We'd see a little status thing, a little like a little activity, spinning wheel, right? And be like, hey, it's in progress. We could refresh the page. We could log off for the day, come back, and we would see when we came back, is it in progress or is it done? And then if it was done, we'd have an option, okay, now pull in the data. And then it would populate the UI. And so we could review the data before we saved it. And then part of reviewing the data and saving the record would clear out the task, I think. Yeah, I think that makes sense in terms of that kind of workflow pattern, and we can just apply that anytime we want to do any kind of asynchronous background job here. So to make that happen, we need to do a couple of things. So we're not a task status field, but we're going to add let's say specifically a transcription. Task URL to the stream table. My typing is getting faster slowly. All right, and then we gotta update the CRUD API to give that to support, in both directions, updating that URL and retrieving it. So update CRUD API. Then once we have that, we're going to, I think that'll be good enough to actually to say we've done this part. And then we start talking about actually updating the UI. Finally. And I think I'm still on board with adding tabs to the UI here. Okay, so that was a lot of talking about stuff, but that's just how it goes, especially, having not looked at this in a week, getting back up to speed. Okay, so add transcription task URLs to the stream table. So we want to use Diesel, and we want to create a migration to add a new column to the stream table. So I think all of our Diesel migrations are inside of the CRUD API. And so what that looks like is it's just some SQL that says here, add such and such column. I think we have... Oh, hey, Brainless. Got the popcorn out. Just in time. I'm actually, I think, ready to start coding. Finally. Let's see. Control R. What am I searching for? There should be something in my history about running Diesel. so that was our rerunning the migration. Migration run, migration run. There we go. Generate. Cool. Whoops. Okay, don't want to use tab there, apparently. Yeah, the little Foxy hi emote. It's pretty cute. Actually, Foxy has a lot of cute emotes. That's the wrong button. There we go. So I think what we want is we want this generate command here to generate the migration file. And we're going to say, what are we actually trying to do? We're going to add trans CRI. That might be how you spell transcription. Task URL to stream. Does it actually need to be this long? It doesn't hurt. You know. To Steam. Unable to find migrations directory in app or any parent drive. Okay. That was not quite right. What did I miss here? Oh yeah, we need to be in the right folder. Maybe that one. Brainless says, I am testing polishing the last details on a very large PR. Oh no. To migrate an old service from Memcache to Redis. Why do I love so much fixing old crap? Because it's exciting. What's gonna break? For the challenge, I don't know. Okay. Everything is going to break. Totally fine. Okay, so I mean, this should be easy, right? We're just we're going to add a column. To save myself some trying to remember how to SQL. I'll just do this. Is it stream or streams? Oh, hey, look. Add column. Transcription task URL text. I think that might actually be okay. Is there anything else we wanted to add while we were here? I mean, I guess we could add the transcription segments. I don't think I want to store status here. Beekeeper will make your life easier. Is this going to be a new tool? I mean, I guess it's So the problem is, I'm gonna Google Beekeeper. Can you give me a little bit of context? Because I'm guessing you don't mean Beekeeper, your frontline success platform. Frontline business leaders use Beekeeper to connect and engage their whole workforce with our productivity app. You love that UI. I'm guessing you also don't mean the 2024 film. Open source database UI. Thank you. I've heard of the one that certain people like to use that I'm not yet convinced was dbeaver. DB. Beekeeper Studio. Okay, yeah, there it is. All right. Talking about this. You like Beekeeper or dbeaver? All right. Well, it's got Postgres and SQLite, CockroachDB. It's interesting this supports Cassandra over dbeaver. Okay. SQL Server. I hope to never use again. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I'm gonna stop talking about that. Let's see. I see. Do we have more screenshots? Overall terminal commands. And for Redis use... Oh, sorry, I missed your other chat. For Redis use Redis Insight. I have that up right here. Voila. I think in the past, again, before this project, it's been like 5 years since I've used Redis. But I think I was using raw terminal commands back then. At least I don't remember a specific tool that I was using back then. It doesn't let you remove all keys. Yeah, there's no right click and delete, is there? It's cool that there's a tree view. I just noticed that. So you just enter the terminal and write something like Redis CLI key star xargs. Yep, good old xargs. All right, I'm gonna put this over to the side. I'll check that out later. So I don't think I want to record status here. Like the only way the front end is gonna get that is to like call the back end to ask for the data from the stream table. And if it's gonna do that, I might as well just call the task API that we're storing the URL for. Now, you could have a debate of whether it makes more sense to store like the ID of the task versus storing the URL or storing a path or like a partial. Yeah, I guess the path would be like a partial URL or something else. I don't know, but this is fine for now. Future me can dislike past me for his decisions. Okay, so transcription. I'll just take that. Segments. I'm surprised. Okay, so I was figuring it was going to try to guess what the type was going to be, but this is going to be JSONB. Yeah, I think that's all we need, right? Yeah. Cool. Now, that's pretty good. Aha. So there we go. We didn't have to write anything. And it alter table stream. Is it stream or streams? It is streams. Streams. So this is wrong. So it's pretty close. Assuming that syntax is right. I guess we'll find out here in a second. Okay, so let's see, Control R. We'll want to do migration run. Syntax error. Okay. You can't do multiple columns. Or maybe I need to say add column multiple times. Maybe I'll just do separate segments, statements. All right. Huh, interesting. So let's try doing the reverse to do migration. Is it undo? Nope. I guess I'll try help. There we go. Oh, it's revert. Revert and redo. I liked, so the tool that I've used quite a bit is Connects.js. And its migration CLI it's just like up, down. Which, I mean, you're already calling the files up and down, so why not? But revert. Okay, so it rolled it back. That's good. And then I guess you just do run again, right? There we go. All right. So that was part of what we needed to do. Maybe we'll, yeah, we got enough time, I think, before the break to update the API as well. So the schema auto updated, I think, when we applied the migration. There we go. So now we have a, and I think they should be nullable. I think it'll be fine for the streams table. There's also a models.rs that we also will need to. I think that's the kind of the next thing to update. All right, so we'll do like pub transcription task URL option string. I think that's right. And then transcription segments is going to be an option of a Surrey JSON value. Now we could do that, or we could commit to a particular structure for the transcription segments. How's that gonna work? I mean, so presumably Diesel is gonna do something that's gonna like deserialize the JSON coming back for us, maybe? I don't know. Let me write what I want. And then we'll see if we can massage it to actually work. So the transcription API right now is where we have something defined, I think. Yeah, we have a segment. So I think so for right now, no, I don't like the idea of copying and pasting this. Maybe we can put this into a shared spot. Do I have a place for... let's see. Let's make maybe we'll just have like a structs.rs in Common API Lib for shared data structures like this. Something like that. All right, and then yep, that. Let's get those things imported. I guess we just need to have this like this now. What does that say? I mean, I guess we could. Oh, is this? Does this work? Because we have a Surdy.rs in the crate versus the global one. Okay, so that seems acceptable. And then what did we break? Oh, yeah, okay, we'll come back to that. Let's update the transcription API to now use our new segment struct. So just delete that and I'll start complaining. And we should get a cannot find struct variant or union type segment in this scope. Yep. Do we? I mean, we have Common API Lib, right? In our cargo. Yeah. Ah, no. Common API Lib struct segment. Yeah, that's right. It's private. Change visibility. There we go. All right. Good, good. So what's this complaining about now? Field. All right. Okay. Spent too much in TypeScript, JavaScript land where, I mean, I guess visibility is a thing, but mostly defaults to visible. Okay. So this is happy again. Successful refactoring, sort of, except we don't have any unit tests at all, so not really refactoring, but. All right, and this is complaining because the handlers are complaining because we changed things. Let's go back to the models. I think the issue is that our model doesn't have the other field. Let's see. Let's go to schema. Transcription segments. There we go. And then so now it suggests, now that the LLM can see that segment, it suggests option vet crate structs segment. I mean, this is wrong because of course there is not a structs in this crate. What we do is this and save and import, save. Now And what's the actual, what is this error actually telling us? The trait bound vec segment from SQL diesel SQL types JSON BPG is not satisfied. Vec as SQL types array stpg required. Implement nullable. Yeah, hard to say what that means. It would be handy if I could like click this type here and go to its definition, but that's not an option. A wild machoke appears in chat. Where was that? Diesel SQL types JSON B. SQL types mod JSON B. Good. All right, so there's specifically PG ones. Where did it import that from? PG SQL type star. Huh. Maybe here. Asserted JSON value. Ah, it escaped. So the question that I guess I need to answer is, I guess we've not derived deserialize. I wonder if that will be sufficient, or if we'll have to do something else to make this work. Interesting. Models.rs. Nope, still doesn't like it. Okay, well, I'm gonna think on that. I mean, we could probably go back to the Serde JSON, the value thing that was here before, and then I really don't like doing that though. Okay, so we're gonna take a break here though. I need to run ads so that we don't have pre-roll ads. So I'll be back in a few. I'm gonna get some water, stretch my legs, and when we come back, figure out how to make this work and update the CRUD API endpoints, and then we can finally move on to like some actual UI stuff.